On this edition of Offroadin with the Rust Belt Boys, the guys here are going to work here on this classic Bronco behind me. This is the Ohio State build. This is the $300,000 truck here, just for the Buckeye games here. So you'll see this in the parking lot this season coming up here at the Ohio State Buckeyes, let's say that correctly.
Well, we're here at our Buckeye Bronco, and we're starting to put our finishing touches on, as you can see. We're getting ready to install our headlamp assembly. And as you see, the magic of TV, I've got the bucket in and it's mounted, and we have our spring. That way you got your adjustment for your up and down, left and right. It holds tension on the bucket. And we got our main headlamp harness here. And if you're wondering what this little guy is for, he goes to our parking lamps, and that lights our halo on our headlamp assembly. So this is the style we're using on this one. A customer picked it out. I think it's a good look. We're going to plug in our connector here. Make sure she gets seated all the way like that. And we got our little halo lighting. And you got to tuck all this in. Of course, you want to make sure all your notches line up. You see our notches. Okay, so we're getting our ring on now. Unfortunately, our aftermarket screws they sent with this ring, the heads were a little big, but I'm gonna go ahead and install it anyways. You make sure you turn your ring so your screw isn't on the hole there. Make sure you got your light where you want her. And we'll just snug our screws down here. And of course, be very careful working around all this nice paint and everything, you know. And there we got the one headlamp installed in the bucket with our retaining ring, trim ring that goes around it. So that'll go over top and try to give you a more finished look.
The lights are in, the power is getting done here. We have the filler plates going on there. And if you can see, it's just coming together very cool here. This truck is just awesome. From the football theme to the football door handles, to the AstroTurf, to the roll cage, the industrial looking stuff here. It's just really, really badass with this truck here. Rick's doing a fantastic job here wiring this up in the front, and Mr. Jimmy back there is putting the 7-way plug-in for the trailer hitch.
Well, if you remember from last week, we had this out and cut it apart and all that. Well, as you see, I painted it to try to match his interior as best I can, you know, with his vents and his shifter. And as you can see by our tape, you know, where I laid everything out, that's where she's gonna mount. And I'll slide it up in there to give you an idea. I have had this mocked up in. It is sort of comical to get in. But as you see, it's gonna be something of this nature. It's hard for me to see if it's straight or not, the angle I gotta get at, but. And then over here, we're gonna put a nice odometer clock, because we can't find a nice compass small enough to fit in there. All the airplane stuff is too big and the boat stuff is too big.
At this time, Rust Belt Offroad has openings for fall of 2024 here for full builds. Give us a call, get your project started. Full paint, bodywork, custom builds, custom engine installs. Anything you can think of, we can do here at Rust Belt Offroad. Give us a call at 330-533-4757, rustbeltoffroad.com.
I'm bringing the truck to you because it's got to be the best it can be. And I've seen your work, I've seen your fixtures, I've seen the bodies you've built, and they're by far the best out there. I mean, all I do is Blazers, so I understand what it takes to put a body together. I've built a few bodies, I get it. And when you come and buy a body here, it's top quality piece. And you know, it's got to be the best, and that's why you're helping me with this project.
The value of this vehicle here and its historical significance, this belongs in a museum when it's done.
Absolutely.
And if it's a GM museum or someplace in Los Angeles, I can't think of it right now, the famous one out there.
Peterson's.
Yeah, Peterson.
Yeah.
Very cool, and it's just, we can't wait to get going on it.